Namaste, Dandavat Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Mahārāja, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Canto 4, The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 21, Text 48. Viravarya Pita Prithvya Samha Sanjiva Shasvati Yasye Drishachute Bhakti Sarvalokaika Bhartari. All the saintly Brahmanas thus addressed Pṛthu Maharaj: O best of the warriors, O father of this globe, may you be blessed with a long life, for you have great devotion to the infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the master of all the universe. Purport. Pṛthu Maharaj was blessed by the saintly persons present at the meeting to have a long life because of his unflinching faith and his devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although one's duration of life is limited in years, if by chance one becomes a devotee, he surpasses the duration prescribed for his life. Indeed, sometimes yogis die according to their wish, not according to the laws of material nature. Another feature of the devotee is that he lives forever because of his infallible devotion to the Lord. It is said, Kirtir yasya sajivati. One who leaves a good reputation behind him lives forever. Specifically, one who is reputed as a devotee of the Lord undoubtedly lives forever. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking with Ramananda Roy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired, "What is the greatest reputation?" Ramananda Roy replied that a person who is reputed as a great devotee has the greatest reputation, for a devotee not only lives forever in the Vaikuntha planets, but by his reputation he also lives forever within this material world. Text 49. Aho vayam hyadya pavitra kirte tvayaiva natena mukunda nata ya uttama Kamatasya Vishnur Brahmanya Devasya Katham Vyanakti. The audience continued, Dear King Pṛthu, your reputation is the purest of all, for you are preaching the glories of the most glorified of all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the Brahmanas. Since due to our great fortune we have you as our master, we think that we are living directly under the agency of the Lord. Purport. The citizens declared that through being under the protection of Maharaj Pṛthu, they were directly under the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This understanding is the proper situation of social steadiness within this material world. Since it is stated in the Vedas that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the maintainer and leader of all living entities, the king or the executive head of the government must be a representative of the Supreme Person. Then he can claim honor exactly like the Lord's. How a king or leader of society can become the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also indicated in this verse by the statement that because Pṛthu Maharaj was preaching the supremacy and the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, he was therefore a proper representative of the Lord. To remain under the jurisdiction or administration of such a king or a leader is the perfect status for human society. The primary responsibility of such a king or leader is to protect the Brahminical culture and the cows in his state. Text 50. Natihad bhutam idham nata tavad jivyanu sushanam prajanurago mahatam prakriti karunatmanam. O dear Lord, it is your occupational duty to rule over your citizens. That is not a very wonderful task for a personality like you, who are so affectionate in seeing the interests of the citizens, because you are full of mercy. That is the greatness of your character. Purport. A king's duty is to give protection to his citizens and levy taxes from them for his livelihood. Since the Vedic society is divided into 4 classes of men, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, their means of livelihood are also mentioned in the scriptures. The Brahmanas should live by spreading knowledge and should therefore take contributions from their disciples, whereas a king should give protection to the citizens for their development to the highest standard of life, and he can therefore levy taxes from them. Businessmen or mercantile men, because they produce foodstuffs for the whole of society, can take a little profit from this, whereas the Sudras, who cannot work as either Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, or Vaishyas, should give service to the higher classes of society and be provided by them with a supply of the necessities of life. The symptom of a qualified king or political leader is mentioned herein. We must be very merciful and compassionate to the people and see to their prime interest, which is to become elevated devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Great souls are naturally inclined to do good to others, and the Vaishnava especially is the most compassionate and merciful personality in society. Therefore, we offer our respects to a Vaishnava leader as follows. Vanchakalpa tuyubhyascha kripasindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Only a Vaishnava leader can fulfill all the desires of the people, Vanchakalpataru. And he is compassionate because he is the contributor of the greatest benefit to human society. He is a patita pavana, a deliverer of all fallen souls. Because if the king or the head of government follows in the footsteps of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, who are naturally leaders in missionary work, the Vaishyas will also follow in the footsteps of the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, and the Sudras will give them service. Thus, the entire society becomes a perfect human institution for combined progress to the highest perfection of life. 51. Adhyanas tamasa paras tvayo pashadita prabho brahmyatam nasta drishtinam karmabir daiva samchitai. The citizens continued, "Today you have opened our eyes and revealed how to cross to the other side of the ocean of darkness. By your past deeds and by the arrangement of superior authority, we are entangled in a network of fruitive activities and have lost sight of the destination of life. Thus we have been wandering within the universe." Purport. In this verse, the words karma bir daiva samgitai are very significant. Due to the quality of our actions, we come to the association of the modes of material nature, and by superior arrangement, we are given a chance to enjoy the fruitive results of such activities in different types of bodies. In this way, having lost sight of their destination in life, all living entities are wandering in different species throughout the universe, sometimes getting birth in a lower species and sometimes existence in the higher planetary systems. Thus we are all wandering since time immemorial. It is by the grace of the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that we get the clue of a devotional life, and thus progressive success in our life begins. Here this is admitted by the citizens of King Pṛthu. In full consciousness, they admit the benefit they have derived from the activities of Mahārāja Pṛthu. 52. Namo vivridha sattvaya purushaya mahiyase yo brahma chatram avisya vibhartitam svatejasa. Dear Lord, you are situated in your pure existential position of goodness. Therefore, you are the perfect representative of the Supreme Lord. You are glorified by your own prowess, and thus you are maintaining an entire world by introducing Brahminical culture and protecting everyone in your line of duty as a Kshatriya. Purport. Without the spread of Brahminical culture, and without proper protection from the government, no social standard can be maintained properly. This is admitted in this verse by the citizens of Mahārāja Pṛthu, who could maintain the wonderful situation of his government due to his position and pure goodness. The word vivridha sattvaya is significant. In the material world, there are three qualities, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. One has to be raised from the platform of ignorance to the platform of goodness by devotional service. There is no other means for elevating one from the lowest stage of life to the highest stage, but the execution of devotional service, as advised in the previous chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam. One can raise himself from the lowest position to the highest, simply by associating with devotees and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly from their mouths. Srinvatam svakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridyanta stohya bhadrani vidhunoti suritsatam. When one engages in devotional service in the first stages of hearing and chanting, the Lord, who is in everyone's heart, helps the devotee in cleansing his heart. In the gradual cleansing process, one is relieved of the influence of passion and ignorance and is situated on the platform of goodness. The result of association with the qualities of passion and ignorance is that one becomes lusty and greedy. But when one is elevated to the platform of goodness, he is satisfied in any condition of life and is without lust and greed. This mentality indicates one's situation on the platform of goodness. One has to transcend this goodness and raise himself to the pure goodness called vivridha sattva, or the advanced stage of goodness. In the advanced stage of goodness, one can become Krishna conscious. Therefore, Mahārāja Pṛthu is addressed here as vivridha sattva, or one who is situated in the transcendental position. But Mahārāja Pṛthu, although situated in the transcendental position of a pure devotee, came down to the position of Brahmana and Kshatriya for the benefit of human society, and thus he gave protection to the entire world by his personal prowess. Although he was a king, a Kshatriya, because he was a Vaishnava, he was also a Brahmana. As a Brahmana, he could give proper instruction to the citizens, and as a Kshatriya, he could rightly give protection to all of them. Thus, the citizens of Mahārāja Pṛthu were protected in all respects by the perfect king. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 4th Canto, 21st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Instructions by Mahārāja Pṛthu. And thus ends our reading for today. We'll continue from chapter 22 on Friday. The next chapter is called Pṛthu Maharaja's Meeting with the Four Kumars. Okay. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Dev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Shanta Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Our glory to the
Jai.
assembled devotees, our glory to the worldwide devotees, Sama Bhaktivedanta ki Jai. Jai Navadvip Dham ki Jai, Nrsimhapali Dham ki Jai, Mayapur Dham ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju ki Jai.
Jai.
Ganga Mai, Yamuna Mai ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Giri Govardhan, Gupta Govardhan Dham ki Jai, Shyam Kun, Radha Kun ki Jai. Tulsi Devi, Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki Jai. Sankirtan Yagya ki Jai. Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bol. Jai Shrimati Uma Devi Dasi ki Jai. Hare
Sripad
Krishna.
Krishna Keshav Prabhu ji ki jai.
Oh,
Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad.
धन्यवाद Siri. Hare Krishna.